I got some ideas, I got some pals, let's get together and pitch some games.
Do a barrel roll, Shay. Cause it's time for Starbucks Fox.
Fox! Do a barrel roll!
I gotta pull out Fox, cause I'm gonna come.
Fox, look out!
I'm Slippy and I'm useless. No, I'm crashing again. Okay. Yes, Star Fox. So, first question I have for you is, did you play these games?
Super Nintendo, 64, and not the port. I played the Super Nintendo and the 64 version.
So you played the good games and you avoided the universally hated GameCube game.
Somebody told me that I would like the Adventures, but I never played it.
I think that was an insult, I guess, to you, I would imagine. It's not well liked, just because they really like. Basically, they did what we talked about with Metroid, where they just made everyone stupid and ridiculous, and super anime, and just talkative, and just be like really dumb. It was a rare game, and they make good games or whatever, but not for this. It actually started off. They're actually making the game stars like this dinosaur princess. There's a dinosaur planet. I believe the game was originally called Dinosaur Planet, actually, as a prototype game.
Right.
Shigeru Miyamoto went over to Rare to see what they were doing, as the story goes. Saw that they're working on this thing and like, oh hey, this is cool. What is this? And they're like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, you know what? We should make this into a Star Fox game. And they're like, okay. And so they had to basically change the character from a female protagonist and basically imprison her and make Fox McCloud save her. Oh yeah, and when he lands on the planet, they take away his blaster because the captain or commander or whatever. What's the commander? The dog's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Whatever, the commander. And it's like, yeah, you just want to shoot everything, don't you, Fox? It's like, he's a starship. What are you talking about? They give him a stick to fight people with and elements and stuff. What do you do? So they're just making it into like a weird platform. I mean, I encourage them to obviously experiment, but Star Fox is probably the first example, and Metroid the second example of why some spin-off things just don't work. And that is also to believe the reason why there hasn't been a new Star Fox since that GameCube adventure. I mean, yes, there was the 3DS port, but that was a port. That's not a sequel. That's not bringing Fox back. That's where he's testing the waters to see how it would sell.
Right.
And so I've dabbled in 64, and I've dabbled in the Super Nintendo one, and I've actually also dabbled on the prototype build of Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo, which is actually pretty far along. It actually feels like a lot of those assets were reused for like Star Fox 64, but it's really cool to play Star Fox 2 on the prototype build in Super Nintendo. It's really cool, and it was a lot more playable than I thought the first one was, because every single time I try and play one, it's just so ugly. It's really all these just polygonal shapes all over the place. There's stuff going on. It doesn't look good. I just challenge you. Go back, look at that. Just looks like horse ding dong.
You gotta be like Paul Rudd in that Super Nintendo commercial. You just gotta be so fucking pumped up.
You know what? I just gotta play it in a parking lot, and then I'll be thrilled.
Go find an old drive-in.
And I understand why it was important back in the day, because seeing those graphics with the Mode 7 chip that they had would have blown my mind. But I remember even back in the day, I was like, wow, I thought it looked ugly just because it's just shapes. You know?
Yeah.
If you saw shape, it's like seeing like a screen shaver where you got like shapes flying all over the place. Like, yeah, those are 3D, but it was a little ugly looking. So I was never a fan of that. Never had a 64, so I never was able to play the 64 game. But it does look, they actually look like something I would play for a Starship shooter and stuff. And like I said, I've dabbled in it, just for the 3DS one. It's really cool, actually. And I really want to finish it. I want to get to the 3DS one and finish that, just because I kind of want to have that underneath my belt, so that I can say I actually played a Star Fox game.
Right.
And I never played the GameCube one. Like I said, I've just, from stuff that I've heard and read and other things. So Yes. So, I think this is an easy one. Obviously, bring it back. You know, the
Yep.
GameCube game came out a long time ago. The 3DS port was when the it launched, so that was 2011, I believe, in May, something like that. It was in May when Star Fox came out, I believe. So it's been almost 3 years since that,
Yeah.
and the GameCube game came out in like 2003-ish, I think,
That sounds
something
right.
like that. Um, oh, I was wrong. It's even longer ago. 2002. 2002, Shay.
Nice.
But I am remiss to forget that there was another Star Fox game after this. Star Fox was not dead, actually. There was Star Fox Command for the DS,
Oh.
and it was basically just a starship game. It. I got excited. I thought it was like a tactical thing, but it is actually a um, thingy, a starship game or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. So that was
I think
2005, I believe, for
I
Star
think
Fox
this
Command.
series
2006.
could. I think this series could definitely use some a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
God, you know what I think the series could maybe they could try like the Super Robot War approach where you you get more Star Fox characters and you pick like your party and you have these tactical battles kind of like like tactics and you fight with the ships and maybe if you're traveling between universes that's when you can get into the old shooter flying around shooting things but at its core you could have like like space pirates or like some galactic rebellion maybe make it a tie-in with a Metroid. I don't know. Maybe that's stretching a little
There's actually
far.
I just watched. Have you ever heard of Pop Fiction?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, it's an amazing show. It's a monthly show on Game Trailers where the team goes and finds some kind of rumor for like you can get 1,000 lives by touching a ghost in Mario or something weird like that. And they basically, go into forums and try to figure out how people do it and see if it's real or not, or if it's just like, made up or, some kind of hack thing. And it's really interesting. It's like a really interesting documentary, kind of. They're short episodes, and check them out for sure. Their latest episode was tying in the F-Zero universe to Star Fox because in F-Zero 64 is the appearance of something McCloud, whatever Fox's dad's name is.
Oh.
And basically, it's a human, but they try and figure out if he was transformed into a human from dying in the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64 or whatever, and then whatever. So they go into the details. I don't want to ruin it, but you should definitely check it out. And it's really, really fascinating how they try and tie it together. And yeah, so if anything, it seems like they maybe. I mean, probably not, but whatever. But I think Metroid actually would be pretty cool, though. Seeing like little furry creatures and then next to like a human would be kind of weird at the same time. But in F-Zero, there's all kinds of weird aliens so that it makes more sense. But I can definitely see maybe Star Fox giving Samus a hand. But again, that's traveling to the GameCube adventures. Now I just want to make a little detail here as you were vamping for me. Star Fox has actually been all over the board. There's been more things that I didn't even know about, but the last game that I knew about was Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube. But there's actually 2 games past that. There was Star Fox Assault for the GameCube in 2005, which seems to have been hated. Star Fox Adventures actually seems to have a fairly good Metacritic of 82. Although a lot of things I've read so many bad things about it that's very strange. But you know what? Final Fantasy 13 has a really good score as well, and people hate that game. So, who's hating and who's not is actually a bad game or what? Maybe people that hate it is because that they got rid of the whole Star Fox meaning of the battle and spaceships and stuff. I don't know. But it seems that Star Fox Assault is actually hated, and Star Fox Command is not that much better than that. And maybe it was the reason why I didn't hear about anything past Adventures was because that name was Skirmish, since after that, Assault came out not too pleasing, and Command came out and I guess didn't shake any leaves. So I guess there's like after two, games that are probably like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, But what if here's a thought. What if they gave the reins over to the Battlefront guys? LucasArts made an awesome game for the GameCube called Rogue Squadron that people loved.
Yeah.
And they could just give their helm over to someone like that. Obviously, LucasArts is dead now.
Yep.
But
so
if
now
they gave it over,
a Disney property.
Yeah. If they, handed over the reins to someone that makes these things, like a Battlefront game, because there's a space section and then there's like the ground troops. I think it'd be pretty cool to like play as like all the crew on like the planets, as well as being able to do in the starships or whatever. Something different. I can't think of any Starship games that exist nowadays besides those Star Wars ones. And like I said, LucasArts is dead, and all the properties owned by EA now. So they could make a development for Nintendo, get the third party on the train, but I don't know. It's definitely a place for a Starship shooter nowadays, for sure. Starbucks is well loved.
I think we know who should do it. Treasure. We already talked about him. It's time Treasure and Star Fox, they meet.
Star Fox, Sin and Punishment. Oh my god. And having like a ball and gag on the cover. What is this game? And there's no reference to sex or anything in the game. The cover is just really weird and evocative.
See, and the game you play as Fox's dad the whole game. The whole game's a prequel to Star Fox,
where he punishes himself.
Where you get to live through whatever war or whatever what do they fight in Star Fox? I don't even remember that baboon.
I think it's basically.
Oh my god, Donkey Kong! It's staring me right in the face. Donkey Kong and Star Fox together, one game, one adventure.
I think technically all the Nintendo universes exist in the same plane of some sort. Because especially Mario and Kirby, you can kind of see existing in like the same world. Because everything's cute and happy and whatever. They are all in Smash Brothers and everything looks the same, so it seems to reason that these things all exist. Just like Disney. All the Disney things exist in the same world. Maybe not the movies, maybe not so much, but like, all the cartoon characters and stuff like that, kind of, you can see. Although there has been some fan theories trying to link all the worlds together, so, I don't know.
It just makes so much sense because the bad guy in Star Fox 64 was a monkey that looked oddly like Cranky Kong.
Maybe it takes place in the future, and the monkeys got into space, and the other animals went into space, and they're like, oh, bad monkey. And Donkey Kong or his offspring, maybe it's Diddy Kong, he went bad.
Oh, God.
I'm Commander Ape now, I don't know. But yeah, you're just fighting a conflict, you're fighting rebels. Or you're rebels or something. I don't know. You're fighting things.
Right.
You're a ragtag squadron with a wolf and the wolf is bad. Star Wolf or whatever, Lone Wolf. Tyler. Tyler and his group of Lone Wolf squadrons.
Oh, we're talking about Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. So yeah. A few ideas here and there. It's definitely a series that needs to be brought back in a very good light. Don't just half-ass something like bring a port.
Yeah.
Make a new game. Make something cool for the Wii U.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom.